happy day, everyone. I am so pleased to be here. Happy Entrepreneurship Month. This is Global Entrepreneurship Week, and we are celebrating these lovely ladies of entrepreneurship. We are so pleased to be here to share with you all our journeys and how it has affected us along the way. I hope that you are able to take in this information and allow it to inspire you and ignite you to keep yourself steadfast on this journey. We are excited to be here. Yes, yes, yes. Again, happy day to everyone. Let me introduce myself and then we're going to go around and have the ladies to introduce themselves. I am Erica Kessie. I am the son of the Thriveverse, powered by love, wisdom, and celebration. I'm your host here of the Entrepreneur Experience panel. I am a multifaceted leader and creator, universal mother. I am a CEO and a therapist of Your Goal Concierge, where we offer a plethora of options for leaders to find their right fit. Those leaders are experiencing imposter syndrome, burnout, and maybe neglecting themselves. And I always say, the first thing you should do is to command your thriving. So I offer a commander club. So if you're one of those ladies out there, mom energy ladies, who may be neglecting themselves, may need to sit down and let other people nurture you and challenge you, come on down to the Commander Club. You can go to www.yourgoalconcierge.com and you can go ahead and click that button, Commander Club. Yes, I am Erica Kessie. Now, the next person on the list to introduce themselves is Christina. Go ahead, Christina.
Well, hello, everybody. My name is Christina Potts. I am a consultant for small business and for entrepreneurs as far as funding and consulting. This isn't my first business. I launched a technology business back in 2014. So this is like a second round for me.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Christina. Now we have Keisha. Please introduce yourself.
I am the Keisha Johnson. I am a loyal, silly connoisseur of light, love, and laughter. I am a multifaceted entrepreneur that have multiple offerings for you. I'm here to talk about that journey through burnout that I experienced as a former paramedic to a thriving entrepreneur. I can be reached at www.theforeverkj.com. And my name is Keisha Johnson.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Keisha. Lisa, please let us know. Let us know who you are.
Hello, everyone, and good afternoon. I'm Dr. Lisa Drew, author, educator, emotional mastery coach, trainer, speaker, and the founder of Red Carpet Business Expo, a platform created to give small business owners the visibility, confidence, and red carpet recognition that they deserve. So, as Red Carpet Business Expo grew, I realized that business owners didn't just need exposure, they needed emotional stability. So I merged my background in education and life coaching to help these entrepreneurs develop the emotional mastery that is required to reach their goals without burning out. So I'm honored to share this space with all of these wonderful ladies today. And just remember, visibility builds the brand, but emotional mastery builds the entrepreneur. So thank you for that.
Yes, thank you so much. And Tara, please introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tara Payne. I am an anointed alchemist, a giddy innovator, a skilled and charismatic connector. I'm a beam of light and a breath of fresh air, singing and dancing my way through this beautiful life. And I am the co-founder and CEO of Maven's Meet, where we leverage the powers of connection and education to help CEOs to scale their business. Now, I know that only one person can create time, so I don't create time, but my team and I help CEOs to get valuable time back that they lose doing administrative tasks. So, what we do is we connect them with highly trained administrative support, which we call support mavens. And by doing that, they can increase their ROI by decreasing the number of tasks that they DIY in their business. So, if you are a CEO who has a team and either you're not leveraging them fully or you are a CEO who is solo and you're looking to scale your business and you're thinking, I'm spending way more time on administrative work than I would like to, then you should go to mavensmeet.com and click on CEO Maven, begin to fill out the information. And our team would be so happy to sit down with you and assess how you're spending your time and see how you can get some of that time back and use that time to do income producing activities. Again, our website is mavensmeet.com. And I'm happy to be here with you today, Erica, as well as to be here with all of these other amazing ladies.
Yes, yes, yes. Let's bring everybody back, our lovely panel. Yes, you all have heard from each one of them these powerful introductions. Now, ladies, you're ready to answer the first question that we are posing to you, which is, tell us about your entrepreneur journey. What caused you to come here and to decide this plight rather than any other way? All right. So excited to hear from each person. And we're going to go back around the same way. So, Christina, please let us know, what was your journey to entrepreneurship?
My journey to entrepreneurship started in 2010 with my pastor at the time. We were trying to sell a video phone, and I liked it, the interaction with the community and the excitement, and that put me in the entrepreneur journey. And after that, I went on entrepreneur classes, fellowships, incubators, and that brought me to the first business that I launched in 2014, the technology business. And then I had to scale back and I had to shut that down. Then I relaunched my new business just recently, like at the end of summer, the beginning of fall, Valerie Enterprises.
Thank you so much for sharing your journey to entrepreneurship. And we have a couple more minutes to kind of go into your journey. What was that? You said that you were ignited by serving. Is that the reason that you decided to become an entrepreneur?
I was excited. I liked it. I was dealing with the community and the actual excitement that it brought to me. That's me sharing this brand new phone, this brand new technology.
Absolutely amazing. So, because you saw how the community responded to the thing that you created, then you said, "Oh, I got to do more of this. I have to give more of this." Yes. Is that beautiful? I mean, isn't that nice? Like, so nice for you to be for people to respond to you in that way. So a lot of people sometimes get into entrepreneurship due to a conflict, but you came into entrepreneurship due to excitement. And yes, your co-host wanted to clock that really quick. So wanted to share that. Thank you so much, Christina, for your story. Now we're going to have, let's see if our other panelist is available. No, we're going to now have Keisha. Yes, Keisha, let us know, what was your journey to entrepreneurship?
Oh my goodness. So I understood supply and demand and service very early. So my original entrepreneur venture was at the age of 4. I used to take phone messages at my grandmother's house from my uncles, and I would write down names and numbers. So I was their receptionist, so they had to pay me $1 per message. Uh, I later went on to multiple ventures. I've started a lawn care service at 8. 12, I was cooking outside of my uncle's mechanic shop because, you're sitting around waiting on your car to get fixed. Let me feed your belly. So I was always service based. The Forever KJ, which is my current brand, came as an umbrella of all of the things that I've gotten out of passion, but it became a purpose after losing the career of being a paramedic and now going full-time entrepreneurship. I had to pivot. So pivoting was my way of finding my purpose, and my purpose is still in service. So all of my businesses and all of my offerings are basically service-based, and I love making people happy and seeing them at their worst and turning it into their best.
Oh my goodness. Isn't that the cutest story of how she was a teenager or a youth entrepreneur and has always had that thought of having the spirit of let me find a way to capitalize on the experiences that I have around me. Wow. Keisha, happy to hear that. A lot of people get into like MLMs. Well, that's my story. Or, they get into like things that that you can do, but you were always very creative, and you're bringing out something was reiterated with Christina and now with you, is that you have to be a very innovative person to be an entrepreneur. And so you said, let me figure out how I'm going to get me some dollars. I love it. That's beautiful. All right, Lisa, yes, please share with us your journey to entrepreneurship.
Yes, and thank you, Erica. Thank you. So my entrepreneurial journey began with a desire to uplift small businesses. So I've always had a helping spirit, right? So even as a teacher, when I became an English teacher, I always wanted to help my students succeed. So, and that's what my background is. That's what my doctorate is in, educational leadership. So when I was transitioning to now doing something on my own, I still wanted a way to help people grow and help people learn. So I noticed that people with big dreams were too often overlooked. And that's why I created Red Carpet Business Expo. And it's a space where entrepreneurs can showcase their brilliance at the various expos that I have in person and online, build connections, and feel like VIPs in their own story. But along the way, I discovered something deeper, that entrepreneurs weren't just struggling with strategy. They were struggling with identity, with self-worth, and emotional overwhelm. I saw it so often that I couldn't ignore it. And the truth is, I also lived those struggles when embarking on this entrepreneurship journey. So that realization is what pushed me to merge my expo business with my emotional mastery work. And it's because I wanted entrepreneurs not just to shine on the stage, but to feel safe, confident, and aligned inside. Because I learned firsthand that your business can only expand as far as your nervous system feels safe to go. And I'll say that again. Your business can only expand as far as your nervous system feels safe to go. So now my mission is twofold: to give entrepreneurs a platform to be seen, and to give them the inner tools to stay grounded while they grow. Because you could put your business on the red carpet, but your identity is going to determine whether or not you can stand the spotlight.
Wow, thank you so much, Dr. Lisa. I love that quote because it reminds me of kind of what I say about takes a thriving you to have a thriving business. A lot of people really need to take some moments and do that personal development and that work of feeling safe, truly safe, embodying safety. And then they should be interacting with others in their business. Yes, I love it.
Yep.
Your business
Exactly.
can only expand as far as your nervous system feels able to grow. Wow. I love that. And oh my goodness, might have to take that and use that a little bit. Thank you so much for sharing your journey. And what I keep hearing is also, I don't know if y'all are noticing this, each one of them say how they want to help and how they love to help, right? So let's see if this trend continues. All right, Tara, come on up. Let us know about your journey to entrepreneurship.
No pressure, right, for me to say that I've been wanting to help, right? But you are correct. There is a trend. But my entrepreneur journey actually started as a kid when I was growing up here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I actually grew up in Bartlesville, but I was born in Tulsa. My dad and my mom shared the story of Black Wall Street with me. And that really fascinated me to learn that there was a community here in Tulsa of all Black people who were wealthy, who had their own businesses, who worked together. And I was curious. And so that made me always want to get to Tulsa. Now, thankfully, my husband and I live here now, but that made me curious. Like, if they could do that then what can I do now? So I was always curious, always loved to help people. And I think my entrepreneur journey, I started off like you, Erica, with MLMs. I wasn't really good at, some people say, oh, yeah, I've been a salesman since I was a kid. Like, I used to sell candy bars. I used to hate selling those candy bars. I did like to eat them, but I always ate them and then my mom would have to pay. But my entrepreneurial journey started, as a kid. So hearing the stories of Black Wall Street actually made me curious about what it would be like to be a business owner. And then later in life, working for entrepreneurs, I have supported many a small business owner. And I think being in that space actually made me think, I thought small business or being a business owner was more challenging. And I was like, wow, if they could do it. And for most of them, I was pretty much running the business. So I was like, if they can do it, I can do it. Right. I've always had ideas. And so when it came down to it, I thought, well, hey, let's try it. I had an idea and went to a pitch competition. Actually, let me go back. So my first business came in COVID. So I needed a way to pay our mortgage without leaving the house because we were all at home, right? And so I thought, what skills do I already have that I can use to make money for my family this week? And I started doing virtual assistants. From there, I got into a pitch competition, which is how Maven's Meet came along. And then from there, it's just been entrepreneurship ever since. I'm a published author. My husband and I celebrated 5 years of our book, When Hope Speaks, being in publication just in September. And so everything to me, every opportunity is an opportunity for entrepreneurship. And I'm grateful to God for a mindset that will not just help me create a business, but help other people. Like, did you know that you can make money for that? Like, are you interested in your own business? And so I think entrepreneurship actually was born into me because it's just so second nature. So that's my story.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing that. So you said that yes, you like helping people, but you also said that because of the places I've been, I saw other people operating and it said, why am I not doing this? Like I could do it much better than them. I know that. Possibly. And so then you set out to do that, just that. Also, I love that you shared you actually decided to do pitch competitions as your pathway, because a lot of people, there's so many different ways to actually get the resources and to be resourceful in this entrepreneurship journey. It's different. All right, so if there's anybody out there who has any questions about how they embarked on it or what is a good thing for you, please let us know. Would love to hear your questions or your comments. We're here to answer anything. Like we said, we all do it differently. And so it's very important to allow yourself to lead yourself in this journey, and be innovative and follow your heart. So sounds like all of us are doing that as well. So thank you so much, Tara, for sharing your entrepreneurship journey. Now I'm going to share mine. You know, as I ask this question of myself, I think, I've always been a very resourceful person. So I remember going to the library at a young age, and seeing all the opportunities there. There's so many opportunities available at the library. If you don't have a library card, you should get one and see what they have going on. They even have a whole section for entrepreneurs and classes that you can take there if you would like to, as well, as entrepreneurs. But moving forward, I saw the opportunities and I would get myself into competitions. So I did poetry competitions, short story competitions. And I saw that, wow, I can make, some money doing this. But then my mother also put us into programs at a young age, very young age. I believe 12 years old, I was a receptionist, and I could see how, so I don't know, and going back to what Tara mentioned, receptionists, administrative people really do see how this whole thing is working, how the whole business is working, and they're holding it down and holding it together. FYI. So I was clocking all that, which made me see that I had this operational mind, that I can see everything that's going on, and that I really was the captain of the ship of most of the organizations that I'm in. So why not do that for myself? Also, I'm very multifaceted. So I had all these different things that I love doing, and I was just giving it away for free, honey, giving it away for free, right? Who out there giving away? You got a whole business, but you're still giving away for free. Well, I was giving away for free, and I gave it to myself as a birthday gift to go ahead and get my EIN, go ahead and establish my business, so that when people came to me for being a mistress of ceremony, writing their resumes, doing their programs, doing their baby shower invitations, whatever everybody came to me to do, I would say, wait a minute, I now have a business. Let me tell you about it. And we charge this for that. And that's how my business began, because I said, I'm going to stop giving away all the things, all of myself. Yes, hello, Jay, Lisa. We have someone here, Jay, wants to say hello to you, and hello probably to the whole panel. So yes, all right. And so going back, I went ahead and just decided that I'm going to stop giving away my services, giving away my time and energy, and start charging. Now, it still takes me a long time. It took me a long time to get to the prices that I'm at right now, because there is a journey to charge the amount of money, and you see the worth within yourself to charge the amount of money that you are deserving. So, awesome. Let's bring everybody back and reset. Hello, everybody, back onto the panel. We're excited again to be celebrating Global Entrepreneurship Week, and you all answering the question of how did you get to entrepreneurship? So I want to ask the whole panel. So Tara mentioned doing entrepreneur programs. Has anybody ever been in any entrepreneur programs or gotten any grants or gotten any investments? Tell us about that in your business. And anybody can speak up.
So I've done the Nashville Business Incubator Club, their second level program, which is scaling your business. They have several programs. It is a nonprofit. There is an incubator club in all states and usually near colleges, major universities. So there is that opportunity that I've done that. I've taken a lot of classes, just one-on-one. Getting a coach, I think, was the biggest thing I could have done, was definitely getting a business strategist and sitting down and doing a strategic plan for the business and a business audit. So that has helped me the most in learning how to better be a business owner.
Amazing. Thank you, Keisha. Anybody else?
I'll continue with what I was saying. Yes, I actually worked at an entrepreneur support organization, which connected me to a bunch of different things. And so I was in a pitch competition, as well as I have been in a women's entrepreneurs accelerator, courtesy of WeBuild, as well as if you've ever heard of sky'sthelimit.org. It is a global platform that helps entrepreneurs and connects them to resources and mentorship. And I've gotten a grant from them as well. So.
Amazing, Tara. Thank you for bringing those up because entrepreneurs need to know about these resources. Yes, there are plenty of resources out here for you. Don't do this alone. Get a mentor, get a business coach, get support. Jay has put a comment in. Thank you so much for this comment. But before we address it, anybody else wants to talk about their entrepreneur experience with organizations that are benefiting entrepreneurs?
Yes, I was in a Kaufman. This was at the early, back in 2010. It was through an organization called TechTown. And they taught me basically every facet of the business, SWOT analysis and stuff like that. Then I went to another one called Prosper Us. Then I was in another one in Engage. And I guess at the time, there wasn't offering grants because Prosper Us, they just started that like in 3 years ago. And I graduated back in 2016.
Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for telling us about that opportunity. Now, I see that I have some ladies putting in some things. We're going to actually put those into the comments later on. There are some opportunities. So if anybody heard of anything that was said here, we'll put it in the comments after this event. All right. So that you can get into any entrepreneurship programs. I'll have to tell you all, I have been into several of them. I feel like I did all of them that are there in Nashville, but not all of them. So there's several in Nashville, Tennessee. There's several. I moved to Tulsa. I got into programs there. I also am a certified SCORE mentor. I also had a contract with the Business Development Center offering my Thrive plan, which will help people to have retention to go through the program and and go back to that piece of it takes a thriving you to have a thriving business. And that Business Development Center understood that. So there is so many opportunities, and every lady on this panel, you can probably reach out to them and ask them about their journey, more about what they have been able to do, and they don't have a problem answering any of those questions. Do not do this alone. I want to reiterate that, and let's go back to Jay's question. Jay said, you have to establish a team that will be transparent and bring new ideas to the table when running a business. Yes, Jay. Oh my goodness. So I want to know, anybody up here have a team, and how are you leveraging your team?
Yes, I actually, as you know, being my co-founder with Maven's Meet, have a team, and I have a team, you have a team, our teams work together, and it works very, very synergistically. And so I'm grateful to have had your team join when we joined forces, for your team to come as well to show us how to work together. I think one of the things I wanted to say to Jay's comment is yes, and in order to establish a team that's transparent, you have to, as the leader, be transparent and vulnerable. And that's one of the things that I really love about our team, Erica. We're just us, and we allow our team to be them as well. And so it works very well.
Mm-hmm. We have a good time, y'all. We do gratitude. We sang loud. We 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 talk about what's going on with our bodies. It's an all woman team. And we just, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Sometimes we don't feel right. Sometimes we feel all right, and everybody knows it. And we talk about all the things. And we celebrate on a regular basis. We celebrate every win that is happening in their personal lives, in our lives, in the business. And it was so amazing because I just had a strategic planning session with Maven Smeet, but as the COO. And we had our administrative person there with us. And we asked her, why would you come on a Saturday to a strategic planning session? And she said, first of all, y'all are funny. Like, that was funny to me for her to say. But I was like, no, for real. Like, I know we funny, but I know you ain't here because of that. And she said, it's because you all are a new startup. And I'm so excited to be right here in the middle of it. Like, I'm in the middle of creating and building this mission and this vision with you. So you all, there are people out there. If you are an entrepreneur out there by yourself, a solopreneur, and you think you got to do this by yourself, you do not. You need to get you a team, some people that can support you. And so there was a question by Christina. Oh, wait a minute. I saw you, Lisa. Did you need something, or how? What would you like to say?
I just wanted to jump in there real quick. And I was going to mention the question that you put and what Christina put, but definitely you don't have to do it alone. When I was looking for like programs, I couldn't find any in my area, and this was pre-COVID. So it wasn't many online options, right? Most of the things were in person. So I did take entrepreneurship classes and courses, but what really helped me was finding a mentor. Finding a mentor really helped me. And just to speak to the best way to find a mentor, I would say ask. And it's okay if people say no or they're not interested, but most entrepreneurs became entrepreneurs because they wanted to help. They see a need, and we want to make money, we want to live and eat and survive, but we all need to do that, right? So that's a given, but it's because they want to help. And there are so many people who are willing to help you if you just ask. And finding that team and building a team also takes a lot of, being vulnerable, and that emotional mastery comes into play, because it's important to not now, get defensive if someone gives you a suggestion or says, maybe you should do this way, or maybe you have to be ready to take that advice, or you'll crumble when you get in the face of it. So that whole piece is key as well, being centered and aligned, and being okay with pushback. That's something that's key as well to building a team and building that accountability, and all of that. So I'm gonna turn it back to you, and thank you for allowing me to jump in.
Absolutely amazing. We actually have some people who want to chime in on this. Christina, you posed this question. Did you pose it because you want to answer, or do you want, or you would like others to answer?
I would like others to answer, because I always wanted a mentor. Even back in 2014, I always wanted an actual mentor, because I felt like I was in it all by myself, and there was some tough questions and tough answers that I had to do, and I had nobody to reach out to.
Thank you. First of all, I love that you're here and that you're on this panel, and that you ask for something that you need. That is a great skill to have as an entrepreneur, always learning, always asking, and you just modeled that superior, Christina. So Tara mentioned something. What is it that you would like to say about mentorship?
I was just kind of piggybacking off of what Lisa said, to think about what aspect of business you want them to mentor you in, because to have a mentor, I think, is a very wide request. but like what aspect of business would you like for them to be in? Think about that. And then think about somebody that you look up to in business. And if you're on LinkedIn, maybe you can reach out to them and say, hey, I'm looking for a mentor. Are you accepting them? But I just wanted to say, in order to narrow it down, just think about what aspect of business. You don't necessarily have to, but you might think about what aspect of business you want them to mentor you on. And that might help you determine who would be best for you.
Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for those answers. And I would like to answer this question as well. What is the best way to find a mentor? I want to, yes, reiterate the things that the ladies have said. But as a certified mentor, I'm certified through SCORE. SCORE is a international organization it is retired executives who decided to take their expertise and to mentor businesses. Now you're probably thinking, are you a retired executive? I guess I am, but not officially, right? I didn't do it for years. I decided to get out of being in corporate circumstances because it just don't work for me. Okay, it don't work for me. But I went in as this business coach and offering mentorship. And there's a training that they gave, which goes along with how I've been trained as a therapist. So I bring all those pieces in. So for me, I went into Tulsa as a business mentor, and you all know that most entrepreneurs are Black women, as you can see depicted here on this stage. So then they had all of these individuals who were older, white. I'm just gonna be honest, old white men, okay, and who are trying to mentor people. And when I decided to sign up, I got everybody wanted to be with me because they were like, oh, you understand? Like, oh my goodness, for real. Like, I'm not able to mesh well with this older white man who doesn't really understand what it's like to be a single mama or a Black person or this system that is here. So going back, it's important to find someone that's the right fit for you all the time. As I mentioned earlier, it is so important to find the right fit person. So you go in. I always say, if you decided to be someone that wants to have a alpaca farm, you need to get somebody that farms alpacas. All right. Like, be specific. Ask for what you want. I have someone who mentors me, who is a Black man, and it was a whole different experience in interacting with a Black woman or a white man. But I do have a mastermind that I'm in where I'll have a mentor there, and it is a white man because I do need it, but it's not an older white man. It's a very successful white man. And I mean, it's a different energy there. But then I also have another mastermind. Yes, you hear me, someone who is a seasoned entrepreneur. I have a Wednesday. Wednesday is my day to go to my masterminds, to interact with my mentors, to interact with people who can fill me up so I'm thriving. So I would say assess what you're really wanting. I'll have to tell you, I worked for or volunteered with, because this is all volunteering. SCORE is being volunteering as a mentor. I have a mentor that a business development center, Nashville Entrepreneur Center, sent me a lady, and then it evolved into her working with me after the program was over. So there's always opportunity to build relationship. Sit down and ask yourself. I'll be happy to share with you people who you can interact with. Especially, it's hard in the tech industry to find people to interact with you. I used to be the startup grind director for Nashville and for Oklahoma City. So I do have some contacts in the tech industry for you if you're looking for that kind of thing as well. So yes, be specific and get you a mentor, get you a coach, get you an administrative person, get you what you are needing in order to move your business to the next level. All right, let's see if there's any other questions. Okay, yes, I see that Ishameen is here, our panelist. Ishameen is here. Hello, Ishameen. Welcome in. We're going to go ahead and get you set up to let us know, first of all, yeah, introduce yourself and answer the previous question that we had. I'm going to let all the other ladies down. Let's have it the spotlight on you so that you can share with us your introduction and also what was your journey to entrepreneurship.
Hi, I'm Ishameen. My journey to entrepreneurship was writing a book. My first time was with Tavis Smiley in one of his anthologies, and he really put me into, I guess, the writing mode and just talking about the community who really I wanted to honor and who I was with. And then April Franks, okay. Next up was her. And she really was like, look, there's writing a book and there's being in the book business. Okay. And the book business is where you make money. And her just showing all the aspects of making money with it, your writing and being about the business of it. And that's what put me in the business of it, 9 anthologies later, right? And all the wonderful things you can do with it. And so I just followed through with it and kept going and doing things that really touched my heart. Like, okay, yeah, I want to talk about this. I want to talk about this. And talking about things that really were close to me. Like I had something to say. And the more I had something to say, the more I wanted to write about it. And the more I found my voice about it and found other people who had a voice in it and encouraging other people to also write. And just being able to say, okay, yeah, I know about that. And, okay, this is the way we can do it. And just always being sharing about it and realizing that there is a business part to it. You know what I'm saying? You want to write, but finding out, okay, there's the writing part of it, but it's the selling part of it. And that's where a lot of writers aren't good at. And the ones who being that salesperson, okay, being the salesperson and being able to talk about it and knowing that authors, speakers, and coaches, they run in the same lane and creating that lane so the money comes with it, because a lot of people write books that don't, they don't sell, or they'll have one run and that's it. So finding out, what do you want to do? Do you want to just write to be writing and tell your story, or do you want to make money, real money with this? And some people do and some people don't, and some people don't. And I will always say, you have to create a salesperson, okay? If you can't sell a book, and that would be my main thing, create the salesperson as you're creating a writer. And what was the next thing?
And we wanted your powerful introduction, Ishameen.
Oh, okay. Oh, my powerful introduction. I am Ishami. I am beloved. Okay. I always say that I am beloved, blessed and highly favored, beguiling. And most of all, I am vibrant. And as a drama queen in recovery, okay? Why? Because I learned emotional intelligence, okay? And you got to train your emotions so they don't get away from you and get you into trouble that you can't get out of, all right? Because, that's why I developed How Not to Slap a Hoe, because, hoes be hating on everybody and hoes be hating on everything. Don't you be the hoe in the situation. And a lot of times we are the problem, because we don't know how to control our emotions. And then I developed Scream on Paper, because what I discovered was paper you can be honest with. Paper don't tell your business, and you could always burn that paper and it won't tell anybody where the bodies are, all right? Because what I find is people don't their motives aren't always pure, and we don't always have the highest and greatest good. No. When you tell people how you feel, those raw emotions, they're not always nice and sweet, but it's better to tell paper than to tell people that are less forgiving. And also, paper lets you really find out what's going on with you sometimes. And And you need to work that out sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Instead of letting things, what's in your heart and your head build up and spill out. And when that spill out can be awful, especially when you still got to live with people and there's knives around. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it's better to work it out on paper before you bring it to people, especially if you love them. And sometimes you want to work that out with before you bring it to people. So I think paper is great for that. And so scream on paper. And scream stands for surrender, create resilient energy audaciously and masterfully. And work out those screams so that your message is heard. So you just don't seem like going off the top of your head, just saying things that are, shooting and hurting people so that your message is heard. So people can hear what you say and you can be honest. But you don't have to diminish yourself, but your message can be heard. But maybe sometimes you got to tweak it in a way so people can hear you. And I got a journal and I got the card deck that helps you work through your feelings and emotions.
Thank you so much, Ishameen, for sharing with us. Christina had to go, but we are so happy that you were here, Christina. If anybody wants to reach out to Christina, please feel free. Her information is in the event information there. Connect with her. Let me also just really quick acknowledge. This is her website right here. We're going to let that go by right now so that you can catch that. Please reach out to Christina. All right. So now it's time to ask our next question, which is, how has entrepreneurship affected you? Yes. How has entrepreneurship affected you? Let's go backwards. We're going to go backwards up the list instead of the way that we were going. Okay. So I'm going to begin. All right. I am going to begin. How has it affected me? Okay. Physically, I'll have to say, you have to make sure that you're really doing some of the foundational things that you should be doing for yourself, you all. As a licensed professional counselor, I know that when people come to me and they're in conflict or have concerns, I ask them, are you eating, sleeping, moving your body, drinking water, getting sunlight? Are you? Most of the time, people are not doing one of those things. Some of those things, they're not. They're not. And so we got to get that on track first. Can we do foundational habits? And so when I think about physically, you got to be resourced in that way. You cannot, sometimes people go off because they're hungry. Sometimes people go off because they're dehydrated. You have to do the things that you need to do for yourself foundationally first. So I am very much an advocate for making sure that is done in my life. I want to model that. Emotionally, like I'll have to say emotionally and mentally, I'll put those together. I am a lifelong learner. So as a lifelong learner, I always want to figure out what's the best version of myself. I have a certain standard that I've always had in myself, in my mind, that I'm wanting to pursue, but I had to learn how to rest. Yes, rest. Lay down. Sometimes you're doing too much, okay? I know that the people that I like to work with are those people who are recovering busybodies, people who need to do a retreat. That's why I created a retreat. People who do need to take a nap. That's why I take a nap every day. I just woke up from my amazing nap, all right, okay, before I came here, because I have to do it every day. You know, it is very important for us to take the time. Even though you have all these dreams, a lot of things can come in naturally. If we're not running, you don't get to even see the vision and the destination. You're not letting things unfold for you if you're running so hard and you're so busy doing everything for everybody else. So these are the lessons that I've learned in entrepreneurship. I would have to say, so that's physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. I am even more embracing what it looks like for me. My business is a ministry. It is. That's the reason why sometimes it looks like a nonprofit when it should be a for-profit business. But I have to also say to myself, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. I'm not supposed to be suffering out here while everybody else is doing all right. Okay. So I have to focus in on only giving pro bono opportunities to people and separating the ministry from the for-profit part. I got to ask the price that I want. I have to allow that to be the opportunity that actually shows up for me. I don't sit and say, well, you can't pay for it. Well, then maybe we'll give you a discount. No, they don't get discounts. You're not a good fit. You got to go. Unless you want to apply for a scholarship or something. Okay, then we can talk about it. But that would be because I already had someone that bought into the scholarship. There's always things that can be done here that will allow people to have it. Maybe they want to offer you some services, doing some administrative work in order to then be able to have you as a mentor. I actually have that situation happening for me right now. So I have somebody working on a project for me and I mentor them. Yes. So that's how it has affected me physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. I have to really take some time and do that very first thing in the morning is setting my day. And the way that we do that, you all, I have my late lovely host here that do the leveraging leads every morning where we do gratitude. We say our powerful introductions, and we are also putting personal development and professional development information into ourselves every single day. Every single day. So that is how I keep it all together. Now, let's move on to the next person on the list. Tara, let us know, how has entrepreneurship affected you physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually?
Woo child. Entrepreneurship has pushed me to limits that I didn't know I could go to, right? Physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Now, because of entrepreneurship, I pray anyway. But baby, I promise you, the Lord be hearing all kind of prayers for me. But I think that entrepreneurship is something that it's supposed to make you realize what you're made of, right? And so it's shown me how strong I am. It's shown me when I need to go sit down or when I need to go lay down. It's shown me the power of partnership. And it's shown me the power of alignment and the necessity of having a vision and knowing what that vision is, even if nobody else understands it, right? And being steadfast about making sure that you make that vision come to pass. And it's shown me that everything is an opportunity for entrepreneurship. Like I didn't know a lot of things. Like my book came from a 7-year infertility journey, right? Never in my life number one, I think I would have an infertility journey, but after having gone through all of that, my prayer was, God, help me to encourage somebody else who might go through recurrent miscarriage. And I wasn't even saying that to be able to make money, but that pain turned into a passion that also brought profit. And so entrepreneurship has been a journey for me. And it has been an adventure of sort. Even there's challenges, there's times where you feel like you're on a mountaintop and times where you feel like you're in the valley, but I have enjoyed it all. And I have enjoyed the people that I've met along the way, because you meet such amazing people in entrepreneurship. Those who are also building businesses, those who like to support people who are building businesses, those who are entrepreneur curious, and those who are just like, you kind of crazy, but you know what? I think you're cool. So entrepreneurship has been a beautiful journey for me. It's been a beautiful adventure.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Tara. The link for When Hope Speaks is ticking below. If you all would like to grab that book of the journey that Tara mentioned regarding infertility, please check out that link. We were ticking earlier her other link, which is www.mavensmeet.com. which is an organization that we co-found together. And it's been a ride for us to really work together and to just put operations within the organization, and to, oh my goodness, now we have all these mavens, support mavens that are ready for you all CEOs out there. So let us know if you're ready to get you some support. We are happy to provide you with your right fit team member.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Tara, for letting us know that information about you. Next up, Lisa. Yes, ma'am. We're excited to have you up now. How has entrepreneurship, affected you physically, mentally, emotionally, and
Yes. So I will say this. Entrepreneurship has broken me in so many ways, right? And I feel like I hear this a lot when I speak to entrepreneurs, and it's supposed to. It's supposed to, because no seed can grow until it is broken. So I'll say that again. No seed can grow until it is broken. And it's only when you are fully broken that you really can see what's inside of you. Right. And I'm gonna share this story real quick. And this is one of the key tenets of emotional mastery for me. Right. And it's a story about a man in a coffee shop. He's walking to, the man is walking to his table with this cup of coffee in his hand. Someone rushes in and bumps him. Coffee spills all over the place. Right. Now, whose fault is it that the coffee spilled? Why did coffee spill from the cup? Some people say because a man bumped him. Some people say maybe he wasn't carrying it carefully enough. He wasn't watching where he was going. But coffee spilled from the cup because that's what was inside. If it was water in the cup, water would have spilled. If it was juice in the cup, juice would have spilled. So it's not what happens to us that causes something to happen, right? It's whatever we were inside. So it's not that, someone cursed at you and that's why you reacted a certain way. If you have anger inside, anger is going to come out. If you have, compassion inside, compassion is going to come out. And that's what happens to entrepreneurs on this journey. We learn what is it really inside of us, right? Because it breaks us and it brings us to that point. So physically, I'm getting tongue-tied. Entrepreneurship showed me what stress really does to the body, right? The fatigue, the tension, the sleepless nights. But once I understood emotional mastery and how to deal with those things and process those stressors, my body was able to soften, relax, and finally heal, right? So I learned to grow my business without sacrificing my health. When your body is exhausted, your brilliance can't break through. So that's something that that you were saying, Erica, the making sure you get sleep, making sure you get all the stuff that you need, right? Mentally, it forced me to face every belief I didn't know I had. So the fears, the doubts, the pressure of being responsible for everything, entrepreneurship put that in the forefront for me. And emotional mastery helped me to shift from that mental chaos to clarity. So just remembering that regulating your mind is going to be your greatest competitive advantage in entrepreneurship, right? Emotionally, it was my biggest awakening. What it does is it pokes at every insecurity, right? Every childhood wound, every fear of being seen, every fear of asking for too much, not being enough. It teaches you to listen to your emotions and not run from them, and start to learn that it's just data. It's not dangerous. You're actually still safe. It's data, and how are you going to use it? What are you going to do with it in order to become successful? And spiritually, last but not least, it strengthened my faith, and it taught me how to trust timing, to trust alignment, to trust that an open door is open for a reason and a closed door is closed for a reason. And it's still for my good, and to trust myself. And when I stopped forcing and started allowing things to flow, everything shifted. So I just want to leave with entrepreneurship will stretch you in every way, shape, and form. And it'll stretch your faith until your faith becomes your strategy. So thank you for that.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you, Dr. Lisa. And there's also her additional link. You all, sounds like some people need her to coach them to have some emotional mastery to be able to be that business that is soaring. Thank you so much, Dr. Lisa. Now we're going to have Keisha to come up and share how it has affected her. You're on mute, Keisha.
Oh, I was saying, I don't know if I need to follow Dr. Lisa because she said all of it. Like, that's a mic drop, pass the collection plate, and we can go on because, baby, she took it all and just wrapped it up in a very beautiful bow. Because it is.
But nobody can tell your story. Nobody can say how it has affected Keisha.
Right. But it was like, yeah, I relate to that. Yeah, you have to grow your faith. You have to change who you are. I remembered when I was getting prepared for full-time entrepreneurship from working, not corporate, but in as a service provider, as a medic. I didn't know what it was going to look like. I knew that let's going to be real. My thoughts of entrepreneurship at 19 was I was just going to be a lady of leisure. Money was going to flow to me, and I was going to drink champagne every morning and take care of my husband. That's what I didn't know what I was going to be doing to make the money. I had no clue, but that was my life. That was how I was supposed to be at 19. Well, let's fast forward 30 years later. I've had my hands on multiple jobs that have given me multiple streams of income. And then I started hanging around multiple millionaires. Then I realized I've been doing this all wrong the whole time. So now I teach investment to women because it did break me down physically. It broke me down to where I didn't understand where I was going to, or how I was going to pay my bills. I did not understand how I was going to make things. I look at it as I'm an entrepreneur. I have my own free schedule. Yes. And then you realize you ain't did no work that day. So that check didn't come in at the end of the week or the month, or you didn't fulfill that contract. So you got to refund somebody's money. So it messes with your finances when you're not a good steward. If you're not thriving, if you're not taking care of self, as Erica teaches all the time, you're doing a disservice to your clients. So you have to have something. So mindset shift, reading books. I did not read a lot. I hated reading. I was so terrified of speaking in public. Being on a panel like this a year ago would have not happened for me, except for I started putting myself in position and around the right people to allow me to let God work, because I was like, Lord, this is what I want, but I need it in this package, and it's got to be like this, and it needs to be like this. And he said, no, baby, that's not how we gonna do it. And so he placed people in my life, and I'm forever grateful for every mentor that I've had, every person that has poured into my business, every client that has walked through multiple businesses with me, that I still have those relationships today. So for me, it has taught me how to better relationship, because relationship is how my business has been able to sustain. And it has truly, like you said, me and Jesus have different type of talks. We had already talked, but now we have some different types. Because like, Lord, I know you said, and I'm, you Joshua said it. You know for me, but can you tell me? Because your girl's down here struggling and trying to make it all happen. But in the end, when you're around the right people and you're doing the right things, it all comes into fruition. And you sit back and be like, my God, look at that again, because there was no way I could have ever made it do what it do. And so I am grateful for Erica allowing us this opportunity to be on this panel, because this is how I also grow, is by being around positive people that have done some successful things. And we ain't got to reinvent the wheel. We just have to collaborate.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Keisha. Yes. I love, we have people saying, come on, Keisha, that part in the private chat over here. Yes. So Keisha, your journey, your understanding is exactly what we needed here in this space. And, being willing to say yes, being willing to say, okay, I'll do it, even though I don't feel so comfortable. I'm going to try this thing, because guess what? Our minds want us to say safe, but safe means that you're staying in the same place. Sometimes you got to do the thing that says, "Ooh, doesn't feel so safe, but I know logically that's going to take me to the next level. So I go ahead and try that thing. And then I can find safe again. Safe can be renewed into this new thing, because logically that's the way you should go." Thank you so much, Keisha, for your willingness to even do the panel. And the other ladies, thank y'all so much for your willingness to do it. I did ask a lot of different people, to do this. And, it takes people to want to be visible, right? I'm the visibility wing woman, but a lot of people are not. They have secret businesses. I don't know how they think they're going to make some money, but they have secret businesses. And so we just want to bring out people who are willing to come on out and be seen, be heard, be known, so that then you can get the money. Okay. Yes. All right. Thank you so much, Keisha. Ishameen, come on up. Share with us how entrepreneurship has affected you physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually.
How's it affected me? Well, it's taught me if it ain't making money, it's just a hobby. Okay, so are you having a hobby, or are you having a business? And so there are some things that you need to focus on so that you have a business, and be in a business mindset as opposed to a hobby mindset. And that's a big one. Are you making money? Are you going to make this valuable, or are you piddling with this, or is this a hobby? How do you differentiate the two? Because you could be having movement, but it could be non-money making movement, and knowing the difference between the two. And that's where the seriousness comes in, because some people are serious and some people are not. And the ones that you hang around and be around, that's going to make a difference. And so you don't want to be around the people that is a hobby with. And you don't want to be a person that makes it a hobby, especially for the parapreneurs and the ones who, they have a invisible investor and everything. That means they have a job, and if you're going to do this, how to do it strategically so that it is a money making outside of that, to do that extra thing to put your family in a extra space. And so that means being better with time management. That means being in spaces with people that think like you. And your friends and everybody, they're not going to understand, like, why are you doing this, and why you want better for yourself. So it's making that change from, okay, I really want to do this, I want this to make a difference in my life, and being around people, so that changing that mindset, spiritually, being able, when the people that you think that's going to support you, they're not going to support you. Okay, the ones that's going to talk about you behind your back, the ones that's going to want it for free. Okay. And the people that you think should be there to support your hopes and dreams are not your customers. Okay. They are not your customers. I hate to tell you that. They're not going to be your biggest supporters. And they might be your primary haters. Okay. So being able to take all of that in and still having the faith enough to say, God, you put this vision in my heart. You gave me the assignment. You gave me the purpose. Okay. Having to shut the F on up about what you want to do. Sometimes you got to keep it close to your vest because in the name of helping you or being afraid of you, they will, or protecting you, somebody could take it, take what was supposed to be your purpose or the dream or desire that you have and talk you right out of it because they're afraid for you or they don't think you could do it, but it wasn't their purpose. It wasn't their dream. It was yours. And so sometimes you got to keep it close to yourself until you do it. You know what I'm saying? And just go out there and do it and don't, move in silence or move with like-minded people. And sometimes they not in your family, they people you meet online and you grow with because the people in your people around you might not have that mindset. So physically, guess what? You gotta get yourself ready for this, okay? Physically, try to be physically fit for this because you can run yourself rampant. And the more physically fit you are, the better you take care of your body, the better it can for those challenges. Because sometimes you will have deadlines. You will want to push it a little. It ain't partying at the club like you did in your 20s, maybe, but you know what I'm saying. You might want to have to pull all nighter to get something done. So the better you are physically, for those ramp ups you can meet those challenges emotionally, keeping yourself, knowing that you're gonna meet some people that y'all always you're not always gonna match. Yeah, it's gonna seem like it's gonna be a perfect y'all getting along in the beginning and then you're gonna find out we are not the same. Oh yes, it seemed like it was going to work out, but it didn't. You know what? We were besties, but we not no more. And it can hurt. Okay, it can hurt, but then you find out, you know what? Season, reason, and lifetime, and they were just a reason. They taught you something, and they had to go, and being okay with that, not beating the shit out of somebody, right? So, because they play it in your face. And so being okay with that, being mature about it. And then, it's okay. And knowing that, you still growing and things like that. So spiritually, emotionally, mentally, just staying strong, knowing that you got it. Like, you know what? You got something that people will pay for. And knowing that, yeah, I do have something that people will pay for. I have a unique voice out there. And, you look at the bread aisle, there's like 50 different kind of bread out there. So you know what? Your voice can be heard and it is unique. And knowing that, yeah, I have a place here and be willing to go out there and step out there, and take your place. And so I think I covered it, right? Mentally, emotionally, physically. Yeah, I think I covered it.
Yes, absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, Ishameen. Let's bring everybody back on stage. Yes, yes. All right, ladies, this has been amazing. Now it's time for closing remarks. Yes. And as you're sharing your closing remarks, I would love for you to also tell us how can the world support you? How let them know the destination so that then they can also partake and be nurtured and challenged by you. So please share that information as well. We're going to start with Tara. Please share with us. Let us know your closing remarks or any tidbits you want to give to those entrepreneurs out there, and then also how you can be supported.
Well, I first want to say thank you again, Erica, for this opportunity to be on this panel with you and with these other amazing ladies. And I have a lot of comments. Dr. Lisa, okay, you dropping gems, sis. Thank you for dropping those gems. Yes, ma'am. And Keisha, yes. And Ishameen, okay. All of that. What I think is beautiful. Now, Erica, I guess I'm going to call myself the amen corner because I was over here like, yeah. I had to keep on putting myself like the camera off because I'm over here doing a bit much. I was about to take up an offering, but I couldn't figure out how to do it. So I'm just going to leave it at that. So listen, I appreciate that everybody has their own journey and their own experience, right? And you will hear parts of each one of our journeys and each one of our experiences in the words that we speak. And I wanted to say, somebody said, I think it was you, that our brains want us to be safe. It was you, Erica. And so what came to me, because this has been a lived experience for me, is don't let your need for safety cause you to sabotage your success. So there are people who are in business and maybe it's not doing as well as you think that it should, because you don't have to worry about outside people. You're the one, right? You've been the one to sabotage your success because you maybe are afraid to go into a place where you've never gone before. Maybe nobody else in your family has been successful or been an entrepreneur. And so you're thinking, well, who am I to do this? Well, baby, you are exactly who God has called you to be. And I want you to this is why it's so important to get around other people who can encourage you, other people who are steps ahead of you, other people who will tell you to go sit down or no, go call them back. People who know what it is that you said you wanted and what the vision was that God put in your heart, because you have to be around other people. We were created to be in community. And so I love that we are on this panel because each one of us have our own journey. And then you can be encouraged. Like I'm encouraged having been here today because I was able to hear there was something from each one of the things that all of you have said that has encouraged me to continue on my journey. So if you are an entrepreneur and you're watching, or you're a CEO and people see you and they see that you're successful, but on the inside you're struggling, I need you to be vulnerable with somebody. Okay. You've got to find somebody that you can be in community with and be transparent with. And the way, if you need to reach out to me on LinkedIn, please, because even if it's not me, I can connect you with somebody who can help you. But the way that you can help me is I'm looking for CEOs who make $250,000 a year or more, who are ready to scale their businesses and who are ready not just to find people to put on their team, but they want to find the right people. A lot of times as CEOs, we're doing so much. We're out there doing this and that. But you have things that you need, and you need to be able to do the income producing activity. And you cannot do that, sir. You can't do it, ma'am. If you're in your emails, if you're doing social media, you're doing all these other things. Let 2025, the rest of 2025, be the best of 2025 so that 2026 can be the best year for you. And so I want you to know that if nothing changes, nothing changes. But all it takes is your decision to say, you know what, I'm going to do something that I've never done in order to get something that I've never had. So please reach out to me via LinkedIn or at mavensmeet.com. And I am here and ready and willing to support you to make not only the income that you got into business to make, but the impact that you got into business to make. Thank you, ladies.
Yes, Tara. Thank you so much. Yes. We're so grateful that you're here. Thank you for taking the opportunity to be here to share yourself with people that are going to hear you. Being visible is absolutely amazing. It is so necessary. And like you said, it is inspiring to be in a space with these, dynamic queens. All right, we are sharing ourselves and we have our missions in mind, and we are here to explore that with you, let you know that we're open to hear, we're open to build relationships. And that's why you would do something like this too. For all the entrepreneurs out there who may be saying, man, I wish I was on the panel. How can I celebrate Entrepreneurship Week? Well, there's a lot of events going on for Global Entrepreneurship Week. So many opportunities to network, so many opportunities to find the right people to be a part of your experience and can propel you to higher heights. You know what I recognize is that I keep getting hooked up with the people who are the best thing around them. And you have to get yourself out of being the best thing around yourself and in circles where you're not the best thing. So that then maybe you can be expanded into a better version of yourself in all ways. So now, Dr. Lisa, please share your closing remarks and how can we support you?
Thank you so much, Erica. And whew, I just love hearing each of you guys speak. I really do. It's like our own little personal mastermind. I've been over here taking notes, but that's a whole nother story. So My closing message is simple. I'm hearing myself like reverberation. Okay. If you guys aren't hearing it, then I'll just keep going. But my audio just got weird for a minute. But my closing message is simple. To all the entrepreneurs out there, your success is not just about what you do, it's about who you become along the way. And what I mean by that, I'll give a quick little informational. We can't achieve higher than what we believe our identity is, right? So whenever you're trying something new, there needs to be some kind of identity shift going on within you. And if you want a deeper explanation about that, feel free to reach out to me. But that internal shift needs to take place. And for people who it doesn't take place in, you can see them, because you guys have mentioned, and Erica mentioned as well, they are going to be, running a hidden business. They're scared to come out and show themselves or do certain things or tell their offer, because that shift hasn't taken place. They're still in employee mindset, or they're still in whatever mindset they were before. So that shift needs to take place. And that's why I wrote Identity Redesigned, Emotional Mastery for Entrepreneur Success. And why I also created the Emotional Mastery group coaching experience for entrepreneurs, because we need more than just business steps. Entrepreneurs need identity shifts and nervous system support and emotional alignment. Okay, because a lot of times we have strategy, we have access to information, but if we keep working out of fear mode, we're not going to move, right? Because when you're stuck in fear mode, you're stuck in fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. And that shows up in so many different ways, right? And I go into those explanations in my book, because if you're in fawn, that's when you're people pleasing and you're giving away stuff for free, right? If you're stuck in fight mode, you're like arguing with people over your worth instead of just walking in it, right? There's examples of each of those, but it's just because you're working from fear instead of alignment. So if you do have a small business that you want to grow, if you want to start a business but don't know where to begin, or if you're feeling stuck, unmotivated, or overwhelmed, you can go ahead and reach out to me. And those are some of the ways that I can support you. Let's get you on that path. And everything happens for a reason. You're not watching all these wonderful ladies on here for no reason. So if there's something that one of us offered, tap into it, because it's your time for that identity shift. It's your time to step into your destiny. And the time is now. So I can support you by joining if you join the coaching group, or just go ahead and get that book. And it is on Amazon. I made it, if you have an Amazon account, I made it available so you can just download it for free. I know we talked about not doing that, but it'll get you on the path. And I just really want to get people on the path, or join the coaching group. And just remember, closing words, your identity, when you shift your identity, your results will stop resisting you. Okay, so if you're feeling that resistance, it's time to shift your identity into entrepreneurship mode. So thank you all for being here. I want to thank all the other panelists for all your insights. And this was awesome. This was amazing. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Lisa. Of course, we should give our complimentary items in order to get people on our email list, in order to nurture them, of course, right? So yes, you all grab that book. I know I'm gonna grab it. And I even talk about these things. Oh wow, like we are very much in sync with each other regarding that identity, and knowing who are you, asking yourself, who are you? And when you talked about that, I went from I went from I'm a love force with mysterious wisdom celebrating life to I am the son of the Thriverse powered by love, wisdom, and celebration. And if you don't get the difference, it's all right. It's not for you to get it. But that's who I am. All right. That's who I am. And I say that every day. And I get excited about that because this is my affirmation. It is my identity and it's my prayer every day for me to be the pure essence of myself. A lot of us are operating from who we think we should be instead of who we are. Or you've never been asked a question. You never asked the question, who are you? You're somebody's daughter. You somebody's mama. You somebody's something other than you being you for you. Yeah. So thank you, Dr. Lisa. Let's move on to Keisha. Keisha, please share what is your closing remarks and how can they reach out to you?
Yes. So my closing remarks are very simple. I have been to 2 events with the master blender, distiller, blender of Uncle Nearest, Victoria Edie. And the first one was Jump. It says that if you have something that you're wanting to do, just jump. Take that leap of faith. If God has put it in you, he has already provided the way. The word tells us that he makes the crooked way straight. Therefore, it has been placed. Now it has to grow and germinate. The second event was just last Friday, and it was Rise and Elevate. She said that thing, that angst, that thing that wakes you up in the middle of the night, that vision that God gives you, that is your purpose. That is something. And because the word tells us that we're supposed to have dominion, power, and authority, that means we don't have to be broke because we are not the borrowers. We are the lenders. And because we have to be those things, we have to have the income. So giving away something to get something greater is the best thing we can do. So the act of servitude is why business grow and thrive. And therefore, we don't always know, in conjunction with what Dr. Lisa says, that we're always operating out of fear. So if you're not sure of that, you can go to the foreverkj.com and get the burnt out methodology, which is a 5-questionnaire that lets you know if you're in the hot zone, which means that you need to take a time, sit out. Then we talk to Sister Erica over here, and we get you a Thrive plan, and we get you to the Thrive Oasis experience, get yourself together, get you back in the cold zone. And then if you need a team, we're going to talk to Tara and get you the administrative team. And then if you ain't figured it all out, Miss Ishameen is going to let you scream. So no matter what you do and how you need to do it, entrepreneurship is about community. And when we collab and connect, there is nothing we cannot accomplish. So I hope that you got something today that made you want to jump, rise, and elevate and start that journey today. We love you and we thank you all for joining us today. And I am so eternally grateful to be on a panel as this today and to be able to share this opportunity with you all.
I got goosebumps, Keisha. She sure did. She sure did bring it home. Tara said, "Bring it home, preacher." She wrapped that sucker up. But what? I don't know if y'all peep this. Okay.
She benedicted us, child. What was the benediction? Come on. Go ahead, Erica.
I don't know if y'all peep this, but Keisha know Ishameen, Tara, and me. She knows us because we do leveraging leads every single day. So you see how she knows how to wrap it up and talk about each one of us because she has been around us. Guess what? That is community. You're supposed to be able to say, oh, I know somebody that got this. You should go over there. You should go over there. That's what's so great. In this entrepreneurship journey, you have to have relationships. This is the second time I've had Dr. Lisa on a panel with me, and she just so-called, she came to a Leveraging Leads one morning. You know what? It was divine timing. And I was like, girl, I need you to do this panel. And I just told her. And then she found me on LinkedIn, got wrapped right into it, and it wasn't a big deal. Now, I had asked so many other people to do this. I was in other places asking them to do it, and they didn't come along with the come on. And one thing about me is, if you don't come along with the come on, you get left. I'm sorry. I don't got time for it. I'm Harriet Tubman. Freedom or die. Okay? I ain't got time. You open up the pathway. I got to go. All right? I'm going somewhere. Anyway, this is the entrepreneurship experience panel. This is Global Entrepreneurship Week. I needed to get and seen, and I had to have what I needed in order to do that. So thank you y'all so much for being here. That was so amazing, Keisha. Now, Ishameen, please share your closing remarks and how can people support
How am I supposed
you?
to follow that up? That was just so excellent. I will tell you that you ain't in business if you ain't making money. Okay. And that is one of the true tenets of being in business. But also, you need to put yourself out there. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there and to do it. Okay. Just do it. And don't just do. And it's going to develop over time. It's not always going to be everything you want it to be when you start, but start. Okay, you got to start from somewhere. So start. It gets better. You get better. You develop. Okay, around people, like-minded people. Who do what you do. And sometimes you gotta say, you know what, that person is doing what I want to do. Let me follow them. Okay, because it ain't always about reinventing the wheel. Okay, if somebody is doing what you know what, I want to do that. Okay, I want to carve wood. Okay, somebody's carving wood. You know what I'm saying? They kind of made a path. Let me go down there. You know, being me. Let me walk down it, being me. And some wood carvings that people will want. And so that's what I'll tell you to do and enjoy it. Don't always, you know what, if you're doing something, find the joy in it. Find ways to laugh in it because it does not have to be drudgery. If you don't hate being in your own business. Okay, it's like because you ain't gonna want to be there, and people gonna know that. But if you enjoy doing it, it makes you happy. People see that too. Like if you would be doing this, even though it's beautiful to be doing what you love to do and getting paid to do it, and you know those people, like you can see it, they love doing this. And so learn to love it. Okay, even in the hard times, find some joy in it. Like this is a purpose. I love doing this. Okay, I love writing. Okay, I love, you know what I'm saying? I love screaming. Okay, coming up with screaming on paper, I was like, you know what? Because let me tell you, there's things that should not be said out loud. Okay, and so helping me put it on paper stops me from somebody beating the crap out of you for saying it out loud. So you know what I'm saying? So sometimes you gotta being happy, enjoying what you do is fine. Closing arguments, and I am looking for like 8 women to enjoy the Scream on Paper retreat with me. Yes, I am having a retreat in Aruba, 2026, July the 10th through the 13th, and I would love for a woman to join me to experience what it is to scream. Okay, yeah, we're gonna have a hilariously good time. While also carving out what we want our lives to be, okay? Because we get to create it in one happy island. That's what Aruba is. And it's a magical space. And I can be reached at iamishameen.com. And thank you so very much. And I mean, being around these wonderful women who they let you know, okay, we got to get our business straight. Okay, we got to get our money straight. We got, you know what I'm saying? Because, and you don't, you don't have to keep that same mindset. You don't have to do it the way the people before you did it. You could do it a different way, a way that, you know what, you could have your mind right, you could have your money right, you could have the environment, be in the environment you want. Okay, and these are the women that can set you up to do it. Okay, they can all make sure you can have your business right. Okay, because in the end, you need to have that business right. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ishameen. Let me share with you all about me. I'm, of course, you all heard the son of the Thrivers, but let me tell you about your Goal Concierge. And I'll give my closing remarks in just a moment. It is like all of these different offerings for you to peruse and try it on. I have a book called Be on Top, the Try-On Philosophy. That is where you can go in and see all of the offerings and see what's the right fit opportunity. Other than that, we're all about thriving over here. We move from surviving to thriving, from reacting to responding, from chaos to clarity. And we do that with our Thrive Plan. You can see the link right there on the home page. You see all the different opportunities there, and that's present for people to peruse and decide, and even have a conversation with me for suggestions on what would be the right fit for them. I'm really excited about this time of the year because this is the time for strategic planning. Out there right now should be doing strategic planning for 2026. The very first thing we do is acknowledge what was all the success that you had. Good about that. Then talk about what went well and then what didn't go so well so that you can have what you're going to do for 2026. You'll have the vision, the mission right there at the forefront of your mind and be able to move. When you acknowledge all the things that you've accomplished, because a lot of times we forget that, you will say, wow, man, I did do lots of great things this year. And we forget to really just sit in that and love on yourself. Sometimes you're just like, wow, I did a lot. And you did. And then think about how much more you can do if you focus on the things that was very successful. Yes, that's something that I really want to share. So now go on over to your Goal Concierge if you love to get to know everyone and to help them to develop. If you have any questions about entrepreneurship, I have tons of experience with that. I also am a therapeutic COO, business execution coach, and a therapist. And so I'm bringing all those pieces together. Now, I'm going to do the closing remarks of what has happened today. We have had a blast because we recognize that we're all creative. We're all innovative. We all are people who are helpers, fixers, people who really recognize that we must give ourselves before we can give ourselves to any flowing. All right? We know that on this panel, and it's been amazing to hear that out of everybody's story. You brought yourself in and you had to be broken, like Dr. Lisa said, and then you emerged more and more as yourself every day, and then go out in the world and say, yes, this is what I'm offering because I have that story, like Tara said, from passion to purpose. Yes, yes, yes. And then Ishameen was recovering. She's recovering from being a drama queen, right? She knows that the mastery of her emotions will get her to the next level. Yes, you have to have that. Keisha, oh my goodness, so whimsical. Make sure our coin is right as we go. Thank you so much, Keisha. Dr. Lisa. Oh my goodness, we have so much in common with the mastery of our emotions and the book that you have given to us for free. So please go get that book so that you can tap in. All we're talking about mentorship here. We can be a mentor, and sometimes you just got to open your mouth. But also, ladies, make sure that you get something. Let it be a mutually beneficial relationship. Every mentorship that I've ever had, it was mutually beneficial in some kind of way. They stretched me to be better. Even having administrative staff, they stretch me to be better because they're expecting me not to be the bottleneck in my business. All right. You all, this has been superior. Thank you, thank you, thank you for taking the opportunity to share your stories and to share all the gems that you've done. I was sitting here thinking, because I'm innovative. I said, wouldn't this be amazing for all of us to come together, bring all of our pieces together and offer something to everyone, maybe a summit, maybe a master class. Let us know in the comments if that's something that you'll be interested in, because we all seem to be flowing and giving you all the different bits of your business that can provide you with success. So you all, thank you again so much for tuning in. Those who listen to the replay, please put in the comments, what kind of business do you have? Are you on the entrepreneur journey? What's your story? For all the people who came by, thank you so much for listening in on the Entrepreneurship Experience panel. Lastly, keep celebrating Global Entrepreneurship Week, and you create